Independent client, customer Shane. This is a build-in of a previous carport that was actually made into a screened-in porch. You can see here it's screened in now. It's going to be actually built into the home as an air-conditioned enveloped area. That's going to be a mudroom. So what you're seeing here on the floor, you see some water intrusion here. Couple things they're going to do about mitigating that. We'll go over that in just a second. But just to give you a look of the room real quick, this door is staying, but it's staying as a doorway. It will not have a physical door on it or a storm door. These two windows, of course, are staying. That's the kitchen on the other side. And this is where the primary access for the sink and any kind of plumbing is going to be at for this room. So this side will have a sink, just the other side of that wall. Over here to the left of that sink area, this space of brick, all the brick is staying. There's not going to be any change in that, but there's going to be a washer dryer pair here, possibly going to be doing maybe a freestanding washer dryer combo, which is the single appliance. And again, that way they don't have to vent anything as far as the heated ventilation on the outside. That particular product is fairly new, but they've been out for about 5 years or so, and it's a single freestanding washer dryer combo that actually can go under a countertop, and it does not have an outlet for the heat. It actually super spins the materials and creates a water condensate that it goes through the drain. So there's no outlet for that if you do that. Over here, this is going to be a doorway again, no door, no storm door. The actual line that I'm measuring to today is the inset of this soffit right here. So from the inset of that soffit to the edge of this brick is the members I'm giving you. I think that was 12 3/4 inches is what that's going to actually be. These walls that are just aluminum channel that's here now that are screened, they're going to be a lot thicker with the regular wall. They'll be 4.5 inches total. And so I'm figuring that that's going to come to the edge of the inset of this soffit right here. And so that's where I'm going to start with my measuring. Back door here that you see is going to be gone. This will be a solid wall. If you come over here, you'll look, there's actually an aluminum column here. We feel like that aluminum column is hiding a post inside of it. They were usually used, these columns were used as transition pieces. And so there's probably a metal post that's in the middle of that. So we measured this to the same offset that we have on the other side, and we're figuring that metal aluminum is going to have to come down, and a regular corner for the wall is going to be there. One thing to note, the measurement to this panel post from that wall is about 1.5 inches different than the other side of the room over here. So if you come across this area that you see here is all going to stay as an enclosed area. It's going to be behind this wall that's being built in, and then right here you can actually see the post that we're talking about here in the middle of the room. That stays. It's actually supporting most of the weight in the middle of the room. It's going to have the wall centered on it and built out. On this concrete, you can see a lot of cracking and stuff. They're actually going to fill all that in. They're going to put maybe a 1 inch or a 3/4 inch paver on top of that, like a brick paver. The ceiling height in here right now is 98.5 inches to the ceiling, 97.5 in some places. They're also talking about doing maybe a lath up here, like a gapped lath or some type of a 3/4 inch thick board on the ceiling area. Wainscot type board, nickel gap. And then over here on this side, coming back to the same place, you've got that same column over there. That's the one I was telling you is a little difference in measurements from one side of the room to the other. And pretty much where the door is now on the screened-in porch, that door will remain in the same spot. Now, let's talk about what's going to go here in the new wall. Here's my drawing. So here we're looking at 65.5 inches to the door. This is the screen door that I just showed you. It's 32 to the corner. This post is 141.5 from that side, and it's 139.5 to this side. Okay, so the post itself is not in the center of the room. 12 inches of wall is what I'm figuring they're going to have to build around that post. 2630 windows to the left, 2630 windows to the right, mold, not divided, but mold together as a single box. So it's a 60 by 36, 60 by 36 double window. To this side here, we're going to have a corner. We've talked about doing, let me write that down. We've talked about doing a neo angle dog wash area in this corner. We also talked about doing a split system AC above this in the center of that wall for just this room to be able to climatize. You got a lot of stuff happening here, washing dogs, having a washer and dryer, a lot of humidity, especially since it's got an exterior floor like this underneath it. So talking about doing a split system here to keep this room nice and cool and warm like it should be. Measurements here, 12.5 40 and a half, 51, 54 and a quarter, 69 and a half, 40 and a quarter, 12 and 3/4. Overall width 137 and a half. That's the number we're going to go with. This one over here was about 139 as far as the space, so a little bit difference as far as the corners go. Ceiling height, again, like I said, is about average 96 to 97. We're going to go with 96 as the actual piece. Now, one of the other things we talked about today is you can see it just rained last night and you have all the water that's come in. Well, good news is that on the outside here, this is a pavement on the outside. And so the pavement is really easy to cut away and pull back. They're probably going to need to have a garage trench or a garage ditch put across here with a grate to be able to make sure that they don't have any water intrusion that comes in and up to the concrete edge. Now, the customer was looking at the space here. She wanted to see if she could move out with the wall. I don't see how that's possible without reworking all the eaves. So I'm going to use this interior dimension that we've talked about so far to start off the design. As far as that goes, we'll get started with this layout. We'll kind of work with the measurements and then try to get the customer over to the office to go over some of those. Once we figure out an actual plan, we'll get that to the builder that's working on it, and then we'll refine that. If you have any questions about this one, feel free to give me a call at 423-650-1051. Have a great day.